The engine roared, a symphony of pure, unadulterated power. I gripped the wheel of my Ferrari 296 GTB, the red paint just gleaming under the California sun. The highway was my kingdom, a long ribbon of blacktop stretching out before me. Every curve was a challenge, every straightaway an invitation to push the limits. The V6 hybrid engine screamed, a beautiful noise that drowned out everything else. I downshifted, the car responding instantly, hugging the asphalt like it was born there. This wasn't just driving, it was a conversation between man and machine, a bond forged in horsepower and adrenaline. The world blurred into a kaleidoscope of color as I accelerated, feeling the raw force spinning me to the leather seat. This is freedom. But even the best conversations need a pause. The fuel gauge was dipping low, a persistent reminder of reality. A car like this has a thirst, a powerful thirst that needs to be quenched. I saw the familiar red and blue sign ahead, a chevron station, a beacon in the desert landscape. It was time for a pit stop. I eased off the gas, the engine's roar softening to a deep guttural purr. Signaling my exit, I glided down the off-ramp, the powerful carbon ceramic brakes bringing the beast to a smooth, controlled stop. The sudden quiet felt strange after the symphony of the open road. It was just a quick stop. Fill it up, get back out there. Simple. I stepped out of the car, the desert heat hitting me like a wave. The smell of gasoline and hot asphalt filled the air. I grabbed the pump handle, selecting the 91-octane fuel. Only the best for my baby. As the premium fuel began to flow, I leaned against the car, admiring its perfect lines. It was more than just metal and mechanics, it was a work of art, a masterpiece of engineering. I listened to the steady click-clack of the pump, a rhythmic sound that was almost peaceful. The sun was high, the station was quiet. It was a moment of calm before I unleashed the storm back on the highway, or so I thought. The tank clicked full. I replaced the nozzle and twisted the gas cap back on, the metallic click echoing in the quiet air. I was ready to go, ready to feel that engine roar back to life. I imagined the road ahead, the miles of blacktop waiting to be conquered. The plan was simple. Get back in, turn the key, and disappear into the horizon. But some plans don't survive contact with reality. Some moments of peace are just the quiet before the chaos, and chaos was about to walk right up to me, with bad intentions and a worse attitude. My hand was on the door handle, ready to get back to business. That's when I saw him, a shadow detaching itself from the corner of the station. He moved quickly, with a nervous energy that set off every alarm in my head. He was tall, wiry, with desperate eyes that darted around, checking for witnesses. His hand was shoved deep into the pocket of his worn-out jacket, hiding something. I stood up straight, my senses on high alert. The calm atmosphere of the gas station was gone, replaced by a thick, heavy tension. I've seen this look before. The look of a man with nothing to lose who thinks he can take what isn't his. He was making a big mistake, a very big mistake. He closed the distance between us in a few quick strides, then he pulled his hand from his pocket. It wasn't empty. A pistol. Small, silver, but deadly serious. He pointed it at me, his hand shaking just a little. "The keys," he growled, his voice raspy. "Now!" I looked from the gun to his eyes. He was scared, but he was committed. I could have taken him down right there, one move. It would have been over. But the gun complicated things. A stray bullet could damage the car. And that was unacceptable. So I played it cool. I raised my hand slowly, my face a mask of stone. "Easy, man," I said, my voice low and steady. "You want the keys? You got the keys." I reached into my pocket, slowly, deliberately. I pulled them out, the Ferrari logo glinting in the sun. I let them dangle from my finger for a second. Then I tossed them onto the ground between us. He flinched, but his eyes never left the prize. He quickly scooped them up, a greedy smile flashing across his face. He thought he had won. He thought it was that easy. He didn't know who he was dealing with. He just sealed his fate. He had my keys, but he had also just made a very powerful enemy. Without another word, he scrambled into the driver's seat. The engine, which had purred for me, screamed for him as he fumbled with the controls. He slammed the car into gear, the tires squealing in protest as he peeled out of the gas station. He shot back onto the highway, a red blur heading south, towards the Mexico border. He thought he was home free. He thought he could just drive away and disappear. But I don't let things go, especially not my things. I watched him vanish, but I wasn't worried. I was already making a new plan. The chase was on. He had the car, but I have resources. I pulled out my phone. One call, that's all it took. "I need a ride," I said, "and I need it now. Something fast, with a view." 10 minutes later, I heard it. The rhythmic thwump, thwump, thwump of rotor blades cutting through the air. A sleek black helicopter descended from the sky, landing in the dusty lot behind the gas station. The pilot gave me a nod. I climbed in, buckled up, and pointed south. "Follow that highway," I commanded over the headset. "And fly low. We're hunting." The helicopter lifted off, the ground falling away beneath us. The game had changed. He had the ground. I had the sky. From the air, the world was a map. The highway was a solid line, and the cars were tiny specks. But one speck was different. It was bright red, and it was moving faster than all the others. There he was, my Ferrari. Even from 1,000 feet up, it was beautiful. The pilot matched his speed, keeping us directly above him. The thief had no idea he was being watched. He was probably feeling pretty good about himself, flooring it towards freedom. He was in my world now, playing my game, and I always write the rules. We flew on, a shadow in the sky, a predator tracking its prey. The border was getting closer, but so was I. It was time to end this. We flew ahead, getting in front of the speeding Ferrari. The pilot looked back at me. "You're sure about this?" he asked. I just grinned and grabbed the parachute pack. "It's the only way to travel," I replied, opening the helicopter door. The wind roared in, a deafening blast. Below me, the red car was a perfect target on the long straight stretch of road. I took a deep breath. This was the moment. No fear, no hesitation, just focus. I looked down at the target, measured the speed, the wind, the altitude. Then I jumped. The world became a blur of wind and noise. The freefall was exhilarating. The ground rushed up to meet me. I pulled the cord. The parachute opened with a loud crack, yanking me upwards. Silence replaced the roar of the wind. I was floating, drifting down towards the highway. I steered the chute, lining myself up with the car. The thief was still oblivious, focused on the road ahead. He probably couldn't hear the helicopter over the sound of the engine. He definitely wasn't expecting company from above. I was just a few hundred feet up now. The landing had to be perfect. One shot, no room for error. I braced myself for impact. I hit the roof of the Ferrari with a solid thud. The car swerved as the thief inside panicked. I held on tight, my boots digging in for grip. The wind tried to tear me away, but my grip was like iron. I crawled forward, moving towards the driver's side window. The thief looked up, his eyes wide with pure terror and disbelief. He saw a man who had just fallen from the sky onto his stolen car. His face went pale. He knew the party was over. He had stolen from the wrong guy. Now, it was time for him to pay the price. I wasn't just taking my car back. I was delivering a message. I smashed my elbow through the side window, the glass shattering into a million tiny pieces. I reached in, grabbed him by the collar of his jacket, and hauled him out of the moving car. He tumbled onto the soft shoulder of the road, dazed and defeated. I didn't even look back. He was yesterday's problem. I slid into the driver's seat, my hands back on the wheel where they belonged. The car felt right again. The engine purred, welcoming me back. I glanced in the rearview mirror. The thief was a small figure getting smaller. The helicopter landed nearby to handle the cleanup. My work here was done. I turned the car around, no more heading south. It was time to go home. I pushed the accelerator and the Ferrari responded with a joyful roar. The highway stretched out before me, but this time it felt different. It wasn't just about speed anymore. It was about reclamation, about taking back what was mine. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. It was a beautiful sight, a perfect ending to an imperfect day. The wind whipped through the broken window, a cool reminder of the chaos. But I didn't mind, it felt like victory. Driving home, I felt a sense of calm settle over me. The adrenaline faded, replaced by pure satisfaction. The Ferrari was safe, the thief was dealt with, the world was back in balance. Some people would have just called the cops. They would have filled out forms and waited. But that's not my style. When someone takes what's yours, you don't wait. You go get it, by any means necessary. I drove into the sunset, the engine my soundtrack, the open road my reward. The car was more than just a car, it was a symbol, and some symbols are worth fighting for. Even if it means jumping out of a helicopter to do it.